Alright guys, so I'm going to show you a little bit of the map before I do the cut, how to do the shortcut. So then, because in this map there is a preferred route to go and a route that you probably should not go. Okay, so this is the beginning and all that, so you end up going. There's a cut right here at this first checkpoint. Alright, I'll demonstrate it in a moment, but I want to show you something else first. Okay, so when you're going around, a lot of people that don't know will end up going around this route. They'll go through the checkpoints and things like that. So right here on this map, the left is the slow way, the right is the faster way. There's a way to do a cut that when you end up doing your cut, you're going to end up getting over to the right over there where that waterfall is. Okay, if you end up not doing the main shortcut at the beginning, you can still choose to go a little bit faster route. The left side is slower. If you end up going the left, you're just going to be killing your time, okay? Because this is a little bit of a shortcut here, because over there is kind of another route to go. This one cuts in shorter. Also, when you're here, you want to make sure you go over here. There's an opening over here as well, okay? So there's a lot of little spots you can go through here. You kind of want to make sure that you know where you're going. After that, you got options to go around here where you cut through this. A lot of people go left. It seems like this map is, if you go left, it's the long way. If you go right, it's the short way, because there's a cut right here as well. All right, so you got to pick where you're going to go. Also, inexperienced players, for some reason, they do have a tendency to go here. This is a long way, but there is a cut up here where you can kind of go to the right over here and through here, which I have actually never taken that route before. I think you come up through there. But I'm going to back up a bit, okay? Let me just go back a little bit, okay? I do just want to demonstrate this really fast. Okay, so this was that cut you did here, okay? Where we did that little shortcut cutting early. I don't go this way. Me personally, I go this way over here, and I end up trying to drift between here. You can hit that, come down, and then drifting right, okay? I prefer doing it that way. It's risky. It can be risky, but if you get used to cutting between, I think it's more ideal. And you can also turbo through here, and when you come out, you can turbo just to set up to go do the shortcut that I'm going to show you right now, okay? I personally think left is long way, right is short way on Azure Grotto. Now that I've kind of showed you a quick rundown of the map back here at the beginning, okay, we did a first lap. So now I'm going to kind of demonstrate this again. I would drift it around, but I personally like cutting through, because if you get too much speed, the shortcut is a little harder. So let's say you turbo further back there, and then you jump and you drift sideways, jump side flip, and so on. You're coasting through and you're hitting at a slow speed. You can do this. You land, you jump, flip right, and then cut around. You're just hitting both checkpoints is what you're doing, and then you end up right here, okay? Which is what I showed you earlier, where if you go the long way around, you can go left, the long way, or right, which is that little opening. One thing I want to demonstrate how to do this trick is because I want to demonstrate how to do it a little easier, because a lot of people don't know this, and this one is a hard one to do if you don't understand one concept. I let off my throttle when I hit that checkpoint, because if you hold the throttle, you can still do it, but there's a good chance that without some practice and you don't jump just right, you're going to either mag flip and hit that rock, which you can mag flip and actually go over it and then end up over at that checkpoint over here. But I found the best way is when you're drifting and you're at an angle, you're going to want to jump, let off your throttle. You don't got to hit your brake. Brake has no use. Just let off your throttle so you slow down a little bit. And then after you do your side flip, you reapply your accelerator button, and then just continue the rest of the way as such, okay? But you really don't want to be going through here like 700 kph, all right? Because there's some spots where the shortcut, some of the pros can probably do it at that speed, but do it very well. They're so experienced that they can do it. But an easier way to do it, to get used to it before kind of raising your level of skill to do it at that speed, it's best to just kind of start it at a little lower so you can at least make the shortcut, okay? Because the shortcut is worth doing as long as you're successful. If not, you just got to drift all the way around and continue on, and it's a hassle. And you don't want to die here, because people that make it successful and the people that don't, they always fall behind. So I'll just show you again. So you drift right, you let off the accelerator, side flip right, and then you just kind of coast slowly. Make sure you go back to the left, okay? and then you end up landing right here, okay? That's what you do. That is the main cut I wanted to show you because the rest is pretty much self-explanatory. Whoops. So where you'd go over here, you don't got to go all the way up here, but just make sure you go kind of to the left right here, okay? And I'll just speed through it really quick. Whoop. Oh, shoot. Whoop. That was not what I was trying to do, but yeah. Then you end up going through here, right through here, cut through here. You can even mag flip right there. Cut all the way through. I skip going that up ramp and I just go to the right because then I can turbo right here and I can drift and then jump, side flip, and you can coast. So by the time you get over here, your speed is slow enough to do the shortcut right here, okay? Just like that. And then of course just make sure you end up going through this hole right here. Okay, I just want to do a quick demo so you kind of get the idea of that shortcut. Okay, so that'll do it for this one. Now I'm going to show you another map really quick where you can also do the flip stall. Alright, so for this map, it's called Twin Flame Island. It's an advanced map. There's a cut right here that I do on that far checkpoint. It is similar to the one that I did in Azure Grotto, but this one I think is a little easier because there's a little bit less going on. Basically what you're doing is you're just doing your drift stall so then you could float down to that checkpoint down there. So then you can cut all that drifting around, okay? Because it does save you time. It's already been proven to do so, and it's what a lot of people do doing that cut, all right? So before I show you my way that I do it, which is what a lot of the better players usually do, I'm going to show you an easier way for a beginner. So what you have to do is when you come through here, so when you come through this area, go the other way. So when you end up coming through this area where you kind of go off the edge here and land, there's two sides that are the same, okay? So there's a left side and a right side. I'm just using the right side as an example. But I'll just show you this. This one is for drifting right. On the other side is drifting left, the same thing. There's two routes that come down and meet. All right. So what I end up doing, what I used to do when I was a beginner, kind of more of a beginner at this map, I would have a drift built and then I would turbo. I would air dodge left and I would drift right really hard so that way I could come down and land and then, you know, come up over here and whatnot. All right. And then, of course, this is near the end because the finish line is over there, which there is a cut. You can kind of jump early and go up this ramp and then hit the finish line. I usually do that as an ending, okay, but usually not during my route, okay? So first I'm going to go back and I'm going to kind of demonstrate my way. Let's see if I can do it correctly this time without messing it up, because I did mess it up when I was first trying to make this video. Anyway, okay, back here. All right, so one way or another I end up landing on this side. And you can do it the opposite way because there is an opposite route that kind of cross. You got roads that cross back and forth that are duplicates on each side, and you just end up picking one. You just kind of mirror the other direction the way you do it. So on this one, I end up building a big drift. Well, I end up going like this. I end up building a big drift. I turbo, release the turbo, go off, and then I side flip. I land right here, okay? And I jump, side flip, okay? I side flip like that so I can drop down, end up over here, straighten out, and then I just kind of go up here if it's like lap 3, landing right here to the finish, okay? That's just a kind of a quick demo idea of this map. I am going to come back to this map for another topic because it has something I want to point out, but I just kind of wanted to show that quick shortcut really quick of the two maps where it's most commonly used, where you can do like a flip stall or drift stall or whatever, okay? And it's mainly for the shortcut. Okay, now I'm going to go on to something else.